This is the iPhone 16 Pro, and you know it is because of the way it is. This year, Apple's introduced the camera control button, which is throwing case manufacturers for a bit of a loop. They weren't really given a heads up as to what this button is and how it functions, and I'm sure a lot of them are working around the clock to get buttons added to their cases. I recently made a video covering all the different cases that have camera control buttons, which you can check out over here. But since making that video, I've been trying my absolute best to use the Apple Silicone Case. It's been almost 2 weeks, so I figured now's a good time to show you the case and to tell you about my experience with it. To start with, I'm sure you've seen this before. This is just your standard white Apple packaging. I'm in Canada, so the price of this case is $69 here. In the US, it's about $50. Either way, it's a pretty expensive case. On the back is a picture showing how to put the phone in the case, which I loosely follow. Inside the box is the case. Usually there's instructions, but I threw them out. The packaging is pretty simple and straightforward. Again, seeing the instructions on how to put the phone in the case, so we'll follow those here. The Apple Silicone cases are lined with microfiber. The nice thing with this is that Apple actually wraps the microfiber up along the inside of the case. This is a nice touch and adds peace of mind that the case isn't going to scratch your phone. Each of the buttons are rubbery buttons and have good tactility. And then on the right, you have the camera control button with its little capacitive bumps. This just helps you interact with the button as if you didn't have a case on it. Now let's follow those instructions and put the phone in the case how they recommend, which is right side first, and then to push down on each corner. So here's a look at what the stone gray case looks like on the natural iPhone 16 Pro. A lot of this is going to be pretty similar to last year, where you have these buttons on the outside, clean cutouts for your mic, speaker, and charging port. With a screen protector installed, you get a little bit of lip from this case. Looking at the back, you do get a gap that gives protection for your camera lenses. One thing I don't really love is that this ring is a hard plastic. I mean, I'd rather have this ring break than my camera lenses, but I don't want my case to break from one fall. Now let's talk about the camera control button on this case. Yes, it works well, but one of my issues with it is an issue that I have with this case. Over the 2 weeks that I've had this case, it's gone from being mildly grippy to very grippy. Meaning that when I'm trying to slide on this button, my finger isn't sliding smoothly on the button, it's kind of getting caught on the actual grip of the case. On one hand, it is really nice that the case has extra grip. You're less prone to drop it, but things like pulling lint out of your pocket just kind of drive me crazy. Here's an example. I'll put the phone in my jean pocket once, pull it out, and look what it's covered in. This whole top of the case is just covered in lint. Yes, you can wipe it away, but having to do that almost every time I take my phone out of my pocket is not my favorite. I did initially have the black case, which was obviously way worse for lint, and I posted on threads to see what the suggestions might be. One of the top ones was to go for a lighter case like this, and I will say it's definitely been better, but still not ideal. One of the issues I know people have with silicone cases comes down to durability. I've dropped my phone with this case once, and this is the mark I'm left with. This was not a very big drop from about waist height onto a hardwood floor. So I would really question the durability of this case if it was dropped somewhere normal, like a parking lot. When you first get this case out of the box, it has kind of a smoother feel. So you might be tempted to think that Apple's improved the silicone case this year, that it's not as tacky and sticky as usual. But over the 2 weeks I've been using it, it's gotten grippy and tacky, and it's pulling my pockets inside out. And I would question the durability if it was dropped onto something like pavement. So it's for those reasons that I think I'm just going to return this case and continue on my quest of finding something better for my iPhone 16 Pro. If you're going to spend $50 on a case, you don't want to be worried that it's just going to shred to bits every time you drop it. I hope you found the information in this video helpful. I appreciate you taking the time to watch, and I hope to see you again.